Your trusted connectivity partner, Telkom Business, proudly brings you the Entrepreneurial SME Show.
As farmers and businesses seek more sustainable and eco-friendly alternatives to conventional chemical fertilizers, a new market for biofertilizers is rapidly growing. Welcome to another installment of the Entrepreneurial SME. I'm Rems Mabote. This week we have entrepreneur and founder of NTT Empire Consortium, Lelaka, who will give an in-depth look or outlook on the market potential of biofertilizers and his journey in starting his own business. Good evening, Neo, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, Rams, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for that.
And thank you very much for coming. Now, let's start at the top, buddy. Who are you? I mean, how do you get into this business? Did you study biochemistry? How did you get in?
Well, I got into the business because I was solving my own problem. And well, as it was an idea back then, when I met the Anglo Zimele, we now scaled it to become a business. So yeah, that's where it all started.
What problem were you solving?
So it was waste, mainly biomass, because we do have all kinds of waste in my area. We do have your plastics and glasses and cans.
Yeah.
So there was a great deal of biomass left over. And then because a lot of people had the problem with the smell and all that, so I just figured that, you know what, since well I have the same problem, I just need to figure this out. And since well I had time, I just went on and started the research. So it is based mainly on research, trial and error. There's no educational background behind it.
And when was this exactly?
So it started in late 2017. So I just got time to trial and error it during COVID, when my main job in civil work stopped. So that's when I had tons of time to actually deal with it. And because the municipal refusal trucks were not coming in, we just had a great deal of biomass to experiment with.
So in simple layman terms, what are biofertilizers?
Okay, so biofertilizers is a stage 3 type of fertilizer. We have your stage 1, which is your normal compost and your normal fertilizers. And then we have your stage 2, which is your synthetic and all other chemical fertilizers. Now, a stage 3, it is a biofertilizer. It is a microbial blend. And in our case, it includes biopesticides and biostimulants. So it's a very perfect 3-in-1. But to answer your question, biofertilizer is just a stage 3 fertilizer, which is convenient. And it's mostly in liquid form, and it is mostly effective and mostly organic.
Where is it used? In a different language? Who is the market?
Okay, so the markets, we have your homeowners, people who want to have your gardens and your lawns, because now people are moving to your artificial things. There are still people who want your real Kikuyu lawn. And we have your farmers, small-scale farmers in my case, because that's who I have access to. And then my other clientele, my possible clients could be your commercial farmers. So we're just growing steadily in that rate until I can cover the demand.
Do your fertilizers improve the health of the soil and therefore impact agricultural productivity?
Yes, it does. First of all, the things that we noticed about our biofertilizers is that when we're using the biofertilizers, the soil becomes much better, and it gets much better when it comes to retention of the water. And also the ecosystem in the soil. We see better life in the soil. And because there are beneficial bacteria as much as there are non-beneficial bacteria, we get to see the balance. So instead of eradicating all the unnecessary bacteria, using the biofertilizer has proven to balance the ecosystem in the soil. So we are seeing a much better balanced farming. And I think with the use of fertilizers more and more, we are really going back to old ways of farming and not this kind of farming that we see today. So we are promoting a regenerative agriculture.
And are you finding that there is a growing interest in these products?
Well, to people who are still valuing organic food, because you get other farmers who are in it for the money, and they are not very sustainable because they spend a lot more on your pesticides and all that, simply because of the synthetic fertilizers that they use. Because remember, when you're using just a synthetic fertilizer, you're only benefiting the crop and for that specific period. But when you are using a biofertilizer, you are benefiting the soil mostly, which is something that is very good and serves as a very great environment for more crops to come in. And it is sustainable because now we are very much sure that even in the future, the kids are going to be able to use, and they're not going to have a risk of running the topsoil, which is something that the synthetics do.
Whenever we hear words like eco-friendly and sustainable, we also hear words that are not spoken being expensive. Is it not expensive to get it to market?
Well, it is. I wouldn't want to sit here and lie to you and say that it's not. It is because now, in my instance, I think the reason why we are sustaining is because this is my hobby and the fact that I'm producing 2 products at a time. If the other one is not working out, I'm basically sitting on the other one. And because I feel like there's a little to close to nothing when it comes to the market of organic and your eco-friendliness and so forth, because now the world has come to this artificial thingy that I don't understand. So yeah, well, it's quite expensive to sit here and talk about eco, especially in my case.
I'm happy to hear that your hobby is making you money, unlike my hobby, Neo. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Neo Lelaka. Don't touch that dial.